It is 6:02, and we are going to get the meeting started. Call to order. First, we're going to do attendance. Place 1, Jane Lyon. Present. Place 2, Lynn Moore. Present. Place 3, Adele Torres here. Place 4, Liz Snow, absent. Place 6, Rhonda Nyberg. Here. Place 5, Ariana Escobar is not here, and today in place of Ariana is going to be Timothy Hamilton, first alternate. Timothy?
Here.
Excellent. Patrick Estes, not here, and Scott Gillette.
Here.
Excellent. All right. And we will open up for audience participation if there's anyone that would like to address the board. No audience today. All right, so then we're going to move on to item 2A, discussion and action regarding the replacement of the softball field lights at Willow Creek Park. We'll be with our Assistant Public Works Director, Jared Kersey.
Good evening, Chairman, board members. We had talked about this at the last meeting, but council did request action by the Parks Board Committee on the approval of replacing the ball field lights at the softball field. So currently there are 8 poles. We will be keeping the original poles in this, so this is just a light fixture change out. Currently each pole has 8 lights on them. It'll be reduced to 5 LED lights instead of 8 that's currently there. One of the biggest issues we're running into is it's just outdated. It's getting harder to find bulb replacements and a lot more expensive. This last year, we spent a little over $8,000 just on bulbs. To change out a ballast of this age will run closer to around $15,000 plus bulb changeouts, things like that. So it's getting very pricey. These, obviously, just in our homes, we're all moving to LED lights. They're more cost-effective, electricity-wise, on down the line. So I'd put all the scope of work into your packets there, and I'll be more than glad to field any questions. I would like to add, I got some information from Jason England, who is in our recreation department, and just to give some figures of how much the ball field is actually rented and used. They had 250 rentals last year. 238 of those rentals were with lights. So the lights are heavily used. And then league games, they average anywhere from 180 to 210 softball league games a year. So the field is very heavily used. To upgrade the lighting system on this would be very beneficial. And I'll field any questions you may have.
How long will the process take to switch everything over?
I don't have that answer.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't gotten that far into the process. The city will have to rent an 85-foot boom lift. Oh, wow. So we'll have to get that in the process, but that's part of this bid as well. I would think probably anywhere from 1 to 2 days, if I'm guessing.
Okay. And the cost of the boom lift, is that coming out of this
Yes.
price point as well? Okay.
It's a part of this quote, yes.
I mean, I think it's a great idea. If we're gonna spend less money in electricity with these bulbs and the maintenance is gonna get better and improved, why not? Because like you said, the numbers that you've given me, it is heavily, heavily used. And I know that there's people out there wishing we had more ball fields, so it's gonna get used, it's gonna be worth it to me, anyway. Bless you.
So the money's gonna be coming out of
Bond money.
bond?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2021 Parks Bond money.
Okay, how much do we have left in there?
So I ran some figures on that
Okay.
today. The figure I got back, we had $831,065, but that was not including the parking lot expansion that we just voted on. Mm-hmm. So after that gets expended out, we will have $703,665 in the current balance. If you were to approve this, we would have 626,665 left.
626, what was the rest of it?
I'm sorry?
626,
660.
665, okay, thank you.
If you were to approve this tonight, yes, that's what
Okay.
we would have left.
I'll make a motion.
Sure. I had a question. So on this, some of the lights are on these wooden poles right now currently. They look like they're very fixed and are actually pointing away from the field in some cases. Is that going to be corrected and change the orientation where it points back towards the field? And I will disclose that I have a bit of interest in there because it bleeds over really bad into my backyard, actually.
Yes,
Oh.
so a part of the packet,
good question.
it shows the actual
Really?
type of lights, and they have like that hooded vent to direct the light. They are movable as well, so whenever they do go to set that up, they will keep in mind of what directions they will be going. You know, thinking off the top of my head, you know, I know we talked to somebody where they, that recently changed out lights. They had to run the lights like overnight just to see how everything is going to look and things like that. So there may be some adjustments that have to be made.
I was just
Things like
concerned
that.
because the wooden mast seems rigid,
Mm-hmm.
and it is currently parallel to Knowles. Like it's pointed, and so if you attach anything to it, it'd be really hard to, turn it to face more north than right now, currently facing east.
Okay.
So just a question, I guess, on that, if that's something that's going to get addressed maybe at that.
Yes, and we'll definitely address anything like that needs to be addressed while we're there.
Okay, awesome.
I won't go, do we have a time set that at, 9:30, the lights have to be out? Is there any kind of procedure in place for that?
I actually don't know how late they rent the field, but,
Okay.
the park closes at 11, so
Oh, okay,
I would assume
Yeah.
that would be the absolute latest.
Cutoff.
But I would say 10 to 11 would be,
So sometimes it goes over because sometimes the games, for some reason,
Run
run
longer.
late. So if they run
Okay.
longer, then I'm guessing they have to stay on until the game's over? or-
Done.
Yeah.
yes, there could be variables like that. And then I also would like to add, just for y'all's knowledge, Jason England, who runs our softball league, is wanting to upgrade also where he can actually turn the lights on and off from his cell phone. That way we
That
can
would be
control
nice.
that a little bit better.
okay.
But that'll be just a software upgrade and something that I believe we can purchase. But just to let you know, we're looking into that facet as well with this up.
Okay.
Yep.
Does anyone have any other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve 77,000 out of the parks bond for the replacement of the softball field lights at Willow Creek Park.
Is there a second?
A second.
All right, motion made by Rhonda Nyberg. Let's see, where's my stuff? Oh, and I have to say who seconded to as well, right? And second by Lynn Moore, and then if you will cast your votes.
It flashed up.
Will it indicate red or green, or is it just all gray?
Oh, it already came up.
It came up,
I didn't see it,
yeah.
I was writing notes.
Yeah.
All right, perfect, it passed, right? Yes. Excellent, okay. Moving on to our next item. 2B, discussion and action regarding the resurfacing of the tennis court at Willow Creek Park. Jerry Kersey.
Chairman and Board, yes, we were asked by council to seek approval for this in front of y'all tonight. It will be the resurfacing of the tennis courts at Willow Creek Park down by the switchyard. The scope of work will resurface both courts that are there. There's 2 courts there. Proposed colors is, and that there is a color chart in your packets, returning light green on the apron and a dark blue court with white playing lines. And then also, not only will it be marked for tennis, they want to mark it with pickleball lines as well. And the paint lines for that would be light blue on both courts. And then also installing 2 new tennis nets as well. And I will field any questions you may have on that.
Wasn't the tennis courts just resurfaced a couple of years ago?
In Highland Station Park,
Oh, in Highland Station.
yes, we resurfaced that
Is there a warranty that comes with the resurfacing?
one. Yes, I
Okay.
have to read up on that, but yes.
All right, perfect. So the outside perimeter, the apron will be the dark blue and the inside would be the light green? With-
The outside, the apron will be the light green.
Oh, switch, okay, the
Yes.
apron's gonna be the light green and the inside.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, the returning is the light green, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, I don't play tennis, so I don't know.
Yes, I don't either.
Okay,
The returning is light green and the apron is dark blue.
dark blue, and then the tennis lines are white and the pickleball lines will be the light blue.
Light blue, yes.
Okay, so they'll stand out.
And as y'all know, we field questions weekly about why is there not pickleball lines?
All the
Fortunately,
time.
weekly.
Yes, it's extremely popular. And I know it was on our list, we wanted to go ahead and paint the lines. It's even better that we have this extra money to be able to resurface it as well. How long would that take? How long would it have to be shut down?
It's very doable. I think it's just a series of days.
Oh, really? Okay, that's not too,
It's a quick city.
okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments? All right. If there's,
I'll put in a motion to, resurface the tennis courts for $4,000 at Willow Creek Park.
all right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. So we have a motion made by Rhonda Nyberg and a second by Scott Gillette. And if you would cast your vote. All right, and it passed. Perfect. On to our next item. 2C, discussion action regarding the installation of a storage building at the switchyard. Jared Kersey.
Chairman and board members, yes, we're seeking approval and action tonight. We had talked at a previous meeting about the need for a storage building at the switchyard to start storing our stage and other equipment that may be needed for all the events we hold there. When we started going out for quotes on that, we wanted to build a storage building that could deter theft, someone breaking in. So we are going with a Haydock block type building.
Okay.
On that. They will be pouring a concrete slab. The quote did come back of course, we originally had this quote done in May, and it came in at $22,425. We are asking for $25,000 for somewhat of inflation since May on that. But I'll field any questions you may have in regards to that.
Say again, how they're going to keep, people from breaking in?
Well, we were looking at building materials, so originally we thought a tin building, but, people can cut through the tin and things, so we just thought go with a Haydock block building.
A block building?
Yes.
So what about the
Yeah.
door?
There will be a rolled down door, but obviously that could be facing, we can make that where it's facing towards the road or underneath a light or whatnot.
Is it just like you just put a lock on it?
Yes, that'll be the only way we could secure
So is
that.
there a lock that you can get that people won't cut? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how we're gonna keep our stage from not being stolen.
Yeah, sure. I know that we would take every possible measure possible to make it the safest it could be. So, yes. Yeah.
Build a steel box around it, so nobody can get in there and cut it. The only thing you can do is get your key out.
Okay,
Okay.
I like that.
Can there be cameras?
I know that that's been discussed in the past about putting cameras down at the switch yard. That would have to be a separate discussion. But
Where would we be building the storage building?
I don't know if the location has exactly been identified. I know that the area between the parking lot just to the south of the pavilions has some green space there. that
Okay.
could possibly-
Do we know the size of the stage? Will the stage fit in there? Because it's going to be a 10 by 10 shed or
Yes,
building?
yes. So when the stage is taken apart, it gets very dense. So
Okay.
it's taken apart in pieces and it's on a rack. So it'll definitely fit in that cesspool.
Okay, perfect. What all are we intending to store there? The stage, the games that are being used out there? My question is it big enough? Is there room to grow, or is it gonna fit just what we have at the moment, and then if we need more storage, we deal with that later?
Yeah, I think it would definitely accommodate everything that we're planning for now, and there's some room for growth. But
Okay.
obviously, you could never have too much storage. I understand the question,
Exactly.
but yes.
Where do we store the light installations currently? The big lights?
Oh,
For the
Christmas
park,
lights.
yes.
Oh, yes, those are
Sorry.
currently at our Public Works facility.
Okay.
We have some cargo trailers that we keep those inside.
Okay, so that's bigger. So you said you have those in cargo trailers, so that's a big, massive storage situation. That's not something that could easily be put out into the park. It's better at Public Works.
Yes,
Okay.
those are better at Public Works, plus also, they're not the greatest to look at,
Okay,
yeah. They're, yes.
all right, perfect. Does anyone have any other questions? All right, I think it's a great idea, because I know the storage has been needed for quite some time now, and it's really nice to be able to have the things that are going to be utilized in the switch yard, in the park, right there, so no one's having to transport it. So I will entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to install a storage building at the switch yard, no more than 25,000.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who was that? Okay. All right, we have a motion made by Rhonda Nyberg and a second by Lynn Moore. And cast your votes, please. All right, and it passed. On to our next item. 2D, discussion and action regarding the replacement of a playground structure at Willow Creek Park. Jared Kersey.
Chairman and Board, we had already approved this. This is just approval for the funding. When we did our park studies, this was the third-ranked park to be replaced there by the dog parks there in Willow Creek Park. We do have some design concepts. They were sent to y'all today, 4 different designs with the prices. And just if you want to write this number down, I sort of wrote down everything in case everything got approved up to this point. After the 3 approvals you just made, the park's bond balance is $561,665. And we do have 2 representatives here from Kimley Horn and also a representative from Worlex that will field any questions and discuss this project. I'll turn it over to Laura at this time.
Hi, y'all. How are y'all this evening?
Aye.
For those who I haven't met before, I'm Laura Presley. I'm a landscape architect with Kimley Horn. So in your packet, you actually have a couple of different options. So we have 2 options for replacing the playground at the dog park. And then we have 4 different options for a new playground at the switch yard. At our last meeting, we had kind of talked about those, with the dog park playground replacement being a higher priority, and then following that, and some of your other projects, potentially doing a new one next to the switch yard. So I've just bundled those all in one packet. But like Jared mentioned, we also have David with Warlicks here. If y'all have specific playground stuff, he's your guy. Both options include some shade structures. There are the existing sidewalks and picnic pavilions around the dog park that are a little bit of a limiting factor when it comes to a shade structure, since there are existing shade structures right there. But these have integrated shade on them. And then they also include some approximate costs for the playground with 5-bar mulch, which is out there right now, and then also for rubberized surfacing, which is like what's at the new Highland Station playground, the Saginaw Station at the north end of Willow Creek, and what'll be going in at Opal Joe and Brian Schwingler as well.
So when we got our packet, I didn't realize the new renderings would be for the switch yard and not for the location by the dog park. They're 2 separate. Is there a way we can mix and match, or these ones are the ones that specifically are marked switch yard are just for switch yard?
So there's a little bit of mix and match, but the dog park playground is intended to be like a replace in place. And so because of the size of the existing perimeter sidewalks,
Okay.
we're somewhat limited on what equipment can go in place because of safety fall zones. So that's why
It's a
I
smaller
say
footprint.
you can change out the equipment if you would like to see different equipment at the dog park, but that's why the equipment was selected to kind of fit in that smaller footprint.
Okay.
Whereas at the switch yard, since you're starting from scratch, you can choose any footprint you'd like.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think the dog park playground has always been, before it was a dog, by the dog park, it was.
Into your mic, I'm sorry if you're speaking that way. I
Sorry,
can't hear you.
better?
Thank you.
Okay. That park was meant for younger kids, I don't know does anybody remember back before the dog park?
No.
No, okay. So it was for younger kids.
Okay.
And then the park up north was for older kids. And I appreciated that as a mom because I utilized that park for my kids when they were young because I couldn't take them up to the ones up north. And then, so I appreciate it being, for a young, having the different parks for the different ages of kids. So just to keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, because the switch yard's gonna have all kinds of ages going on over there.
So if I'm understanding, our objective here is we need to select one for each site, is that correct?
So actually, the only approval was by the dog park playground, according to our last meeting. So that's what we need to make a decision on. So just the dog park?
Just the dog park location right now. When we first learned that we had money left over from the 2021 bond, we had a list of projects that we would like to accomplish with the money left over, and putting a playground near the switch yard was on that list. But for right now, what we definitely agreed upon and what does need to be accomplished is the dog park. And then after the fact, we can see where we are money-wise and then kind of reprioritize and figure out what else we want to do with the leftover bond money. So I know in the last meeting, we talked about the potential of implementing some sort of train-ish design or element to this park. Is that something that you guys would still like to see renderings of? Is that on that second one?
I guess that's where that it could implement is, right there.
Where it
Kinda
looks like a truck
near the
and turn
front of
into a train?
That could just be changed, I'm guessing, to a train, like right here.
Are there options with
Right
more
here.
sun protection?
Sorry, let me train. Yes, we can look at options with more sun protection. Like I said, this has, I believe it's 2 picnic structures on either side. And so those can sometimes limit the size of shade structure that we can put over the playground because they would be in conflict with their heights of those eaves. So we can evaluate how much more shade we could get.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you don't mind to add to that, anytime we run into shade projects that are not integrated with the shade, it pulls into a different realm of shade, which would need an engineered pier that goes along with it, so there's permits to get tied to it. The biggest constraints that we had on the site was the existing border and sidewalks. To put a shade in that's gonna be full coverage, we would have to demo the existing border and sidewalks, which is just gonna drop your budget down.
Yeah.
Because typically on that one, I think it would be a 30 by 30 shade with space, 30 by 30. You know, you would typically see a 2.5 foot by 8 foot pier that goes onto a shade structure like that. There'll be one in each corner, so we have to demo the entire corners of the play structure for the pit and the sidewalks to be able to get the pier in the ground. So that was one of the, when she talks about constraints on the site, that was one of the constraints on the site.
So you're saying it's an option?
Say again?
So you're saying it's an option?
It's an option, yeah. If we want to demo back to the pavilions and rebuild the sidewalks and the curb, absolutely.
Okay. But as is, like on option 1 for the dog park playground, that shade structure, there's not a size up from that? That's the highest shade structure that can go on the playground?
Yeah, that shade structure there is called pool topper. I believe it's the single post, it's not the larger like cell shade on it, if I remember correctly.
Single post.
It's a single post pool topper, it's gonna have a 12 by 12 coverage on it.
Okay.
And then the second design with the full cell pool topper, is a 18 by 18.
Yeah, that looks significantly bigger.
I kind of like option 2.
Yeah.
I do
like
too.
option-
I like the straight slides, especially, when they're younger, parents are gonna want them to have the straight slide.
So the age on this looks like it's 5 to 12, so this is the older?
It is, we just, as a company, we do not, there's a lot of companies out there that would define this playground as a 2 to 12. Our company, we don't look at age groups as 2 to 12, it's always 2 to 5, 5 to 12. It would be defined
Okay. But then the other thing I would say too is number 1 has 2 slides versus number 2.
I think number 2 has 2 slides too, actually. Yeah,
Yes,
they're just, they're parallel to each other right there. So it's hard to see in the diagram, but you can see in this one where it spits out.
So it has 2 chutes
Yeah.
or
sheets.
2 bays.
I will say this
Okay.
too, what we can, if you guys want to see that larger shade on design number 1, that's something.
Okay.
It's kind of weird.
We kind of little these things about blocks, so it's
This
not
one
like
has-
the design. It's modern piece.
Well, this one's different than that
I'm
one.
kind of like an option 2 with a little, instead of right here where the car looking thing is, maybe you can put like a little train on there.
Yeah, I like the interactive in 2.
I like that where you can go down below here and play down below. Mhm. And it has the larger shade up there already.
Option 2 definitely seems more age appropriate. The way you selected this out.
Is there a way, could we add the small climbing structure that's coming out of option 1, that teal blue worm-like climbing structure to option 2? Is that an option to add something to it?
Taking this guy.
Oh, the logo
That wouldn't be a good option, but you had young kids playing on it as a mom. I would freak out.
It's okay.
No?
Yeah, I mean, we could take a look at doing any changes. I would
If you
need to run it
remember
through
the
the
old one,
system
the
so that
old
we do a
one.
safety check on it, just to make sure it fits the site properly. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have ideas of what you want to see on it, then we can absolutely incorporate some things into it. And
Okay.
as long as we stay really, as long as we stay right at that budget, I mean, there's some changes that we could do. I hear you guys keep talking about a train. I'm not fully educated on trains here in Saginaw, so if there's something that is like specific to the city, we also have a process that's called a DigiFuse panel, so if you guys have any historic pictures or a picture of a certain train that you'd like to see on it, we could always take that image, put it on a play panel, and add it to the structure.
Oh, okay. I like that.
All right.
Now, is that standard or is that additional cost?
It would be a standard product, no, we could get it all to fit under the same budget, but it is a standard product. We would just need a vector format of the picture that you
Oh,
want,
okay.
and we could put it
Yeah,
on a
that's easy.
panel, yeah.
Okay.
If y'all would like to see these changes before voting, that's also an
Yeah.
option.
Yeah, definitely.
That makes y'all feel more comfortable. to
Yeah, those
see.
are super simple changes too.
Okay. Yeah, if we're gonna change the truck up here to resemble more of a train, I
Okay.
would like to see it visually before approval. How does everyone else feel about that? If we were to make any kind of changes,
It's just a picture of a train instead of a car.
what if
And
it's
what-
an ugly train? I'm just kidding.
You picked it.
And because of the proximity of that playground to the switch yard, which is another location where we're planning on doing a playground, wouldn't that be the one that we really want to focus the train imagery on versus?
The vision of
maybe
the
one
train.
by the dog park, I don't know.
So does the dog park get a dog theme?
What?
Does the dog park get a dog theme?
Oh,
Dog park?
paws everywhere.
I mean, big cocker spaniel eyes.
See. Now, in this rendering for option
Kids like it a
2,
lot, actually, now that I think about it, like.
at the bottom, the interactive stuff that the kids are doing, is that musical or is that just pushing buttons and?
No, it's a storefront panel, so it's for kids to socially play with each other. It has some bells on it, so the concept is it's a storefront panel, so you come to the front of the store, ring the bell to get service, and then it's more of like an interactive imagination play between two or more kids.
Okay.
Yep.
And at the top, it's, I would imagine, a horn and dials to turn.
Yeah, same thing, a steering wheel, there's a gear shifter on it, but yeah, there's a steering wheel there to the left, there's a little windshield wiper that works on it. I mean, it's manually made, but yeah, manually it works on it. The actual lights of the front, like the headlights, are marble panels. So there's little marbles in there that move around that work on auditory and tactile, get their kids get their hands on it. It's a little auditory stimulation on the playground.
Okay.
What's the difference, maybe it's listed here, the footprint of dog park playground 1 and 2?
They're the exact same footprint.
The same, really, because visually,
Yeah.
number one
They all fit
looks
within the space that we had to work within was a 30 by 30.
okay.
So they both fit within that 30 by 30 space.
And is this the suggested color schema for these two?
No,
or
you guys can pick
Pick
whatever
whatever you
color you
want?
want on it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just my designer through these colors. I'm not 100% sold on the blue seafoam stuff, but that's the colors he decided to put on the renders. We have 38 different palettes to go through. We have 42 different powder coats, a number of different polys. So, I mean, we could sit down, if you guys wanted to, we could sit down, pull the program up, go through colors fairly easily.
So the rubberized surfacing, how long does that typically last? What's the warranty on it? And how does it last as far as
Like wear and tear over time.
destructible?
The destructibility of it, anything that you put on a playground is gonna get wear and tear to it. Port in place rubber, the company we use does a standard 6-year warranty. It is prorated. And typically we see about a 15-year lifespan. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll find those high traffic areas like at the bottom of your slides at your transfer stations and then put just a little design in the rubber so that you guys can kind of foresee about every 5 years, you know, the circle at the end of your slide is gonna have to be replaced. Like if we put something at the transfer station where the kids get onto the play structure, we can put a design in it to where like just that piece of rubber comes out, you put a new piece of rubber in. And the rubber goes down, I don't know if you've ever seen the process of it, it's kind of mixed in a mixer with a binder, it's trowed out like concrete. That's why they call it pour in place rubber. So I mean, it's something that if we strategically do it, you guys will be able for the next, I mean, the playground equipment will last you the next, 30, 40 years if it's taken care of. I know you guys are probably on a 15 to 20 year rotation on your playground, so it'll last the full lifespan of it, and the rubber will wear out far more than the playground will.
And I'd want my kids running around on that instead of
Wood chips.
the wood.
Yeah, I mean, then you
definitely.
can also look at, I mean, there's port-in-place rubber out there. There's a lot of synthetic turfs now that have been made specifically for playgrounds. That's just made a little tougher. We tend to, at that point, if we do turf, those high traffic areas, we'll put like a putting green turf in, like a lot smaller tuft to it, a lot tighter thatch to it, so that it just takes the wear and tear better.
What's at the north end? What's the service on the north end? Do you know?
The playground at the north end, that's the porting place.
Yeah.
That's, I'm sorry?
That's the rubberized
Yeah.
surfacing the porting place.
So that would be the same thing?
Yeah. And really, the rubber and the binders are a commodity. Anybody can get their hands on them, but it's really the testing and the installation is where you find the better vendors out there.
And who would do the repairs to the rubber surfacing? Would it be the city, or would it be, would we go back to the playground equipment?
Repairs would, depending on what type of repair it is, if it's falls underneath the warranty, then you guys would get a hold of us directly. We would get the rubber guys out here to take a look at what was going on. And again, that rubber surfacing is prorated. So, I mean, there would be some cost after 3 years of some type of labor cost to it, but yeah, but anything after the first step from, design through warranty, you would be dealing with us directly and nobody else.
Jared, I'd like your opinion, your expert opinion on wood fiber mulch versus the rubberized. As the city, how much effort do y'all have to take to re-mulch playgrounds that have the wood fiber mulch, and how long does that last until you have to redo it again?
There's a tremendous amount more maintenance with the mulch. Pulling weeds, it's more apt to grow weeds, things like that. Where, the rubber surfacing is since we've started implementing that, has really cut down on maintenance costs for us. So I would suggest the rubberized.
Yeah, thank you for your,
Yes.
for your input on that. I do prefer the rubberized also. It's a lot cleaner for families and children to not have to pick pieces of wood out of their socks, and also burrs, which grow. The sandburrs will find a place to grow. But the rubberized will just give a cleaner look. It'll be cleaner children, cleaner all the way around, and less maintenance. So I think it's worth spending, my opinion is it's worth spending the extra money, which is not inconsequential, but cheaper is not always better.
Yeah.
I've had a piece of mulch go through my daughter's flip-flop when she was younger. It went through it. It was poking her foot, so.
And if you don't mind me to interject, also, one of the things that's really big for us is we want each one of these playgrounds to be inclusive. So once we start bringing in a unitary surface, then it just opens up the playground to a lot of other kids that if there was wood chips there, that wouldn't have the opportunity to play at that playground.
Correct, wheelchairs or
Or
walkers.
walkers, or even kids that just might have a foot disability that it's just harder for them to carry across. And then a lot of these kids, it might not seem like it, but a lot of these kids that are wheelchair bound, once they get to the playground, they want to get out of their wheelchairs and play with their friends. So it's really tough for them to maneuver their ways through the wood chips, where you have something like turf or poured-in-place rubber. I mean, it opens it up to everybody in the community instead of somebody being left out.
Is, excuse me, color choice something we need to design today, or that's something we can do later?
Yeah, no, once we go under contract, like I said, I could come back another night, we could pull the colors up on the screen and just go through whatever colors you want to look at.
Okay.
But no, once we place the order is when we would need the colors selected. And we are still filling production for 2025, so. I think as of right now, orders that are being, standard orders that go in today are shipping the first week of October.
So it looks to me like both option 1 and 2 have 2 slides, an interactive play center, and like some kind of climbing structure. So they're pretty equitable. Would you agree, or they're pretty equitable?
Yes, if you look at play value to play value, they're pretty comparable. I will point out, it looks like one slide, but the taller switch slide is actually 2 slides. There's 2 beds in it. And I can't see it on here, but it might even have that the smaller side on the other side might have 2 slide beds in it.
One of the renderings has it, the other ones don't, so it's weird.
Oh, it's just the one, I'm sorry. Yeah, so there's 2 on the larger slide. And that's another thing too, if you're looking to get more play value, I mean, we could swap that slide out to a double slide fairly easy. We try to get as many kids on the playground as possible.
This has two.
I like the shade on number 2, for sure.
Love that.
Definitely.
Love the
With the
shade on
cellar.
it.
It's a lot bigger,
And
more
it's
coverage.
colorful too.
Yeah.
I have to say, I like option 2 more than 1. What does everyone else feel?
For sure.
I agree.
Questions?
Yeah.
Oh, no, 2.
2, oh, 2, yes, 2. 2 is what I mean, the blue and green, yellow.
So, should we entertain a motion?
Yeah, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Can we, I'll make a motion for option 2 at rubberized surfacing for the dog park playground
For 160.
for $116,000.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion made by Timothy Hamilton, second by Rhonda Nyberg, and please cast your votes.
It's all right. We have it in record.
Chair, does this close the discussion of the rest on the switchyard then by doing a vote now?
Does it, Maria, or can we still talk about the switchyard playground? Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
What's the What'll be the balance on the bond funds after the 116?
561 minus 116.
And it passed. Perfect. Okay. I think it's
Should be about
445.
445
445? Okay, thank you.
and change.
445.
665.
Yeah, if y'all have any feedback on the switch yard options, we can take that, and then when we come back with updates on
Okay.
option dog park, we can have updates on this as well.
I think this is the one that we'd want the theme to be more train-related. And I would imagine staff has some good photos that might be able to be utilized in that.
Do any of these come with benches or anything like that?
Yes,
Seating?
we don't have them included in these cost estimates, but we can add site furniture that's like perimeter benches for parents.
Boy, I love the shade on number 3, option 3.
It's nice. I like too, it has that little bridge.
445 and change, yeah. Option 2 is pretty basic.
Option 2 reminds me of the old park. Do you
Yeah,
remember
that's
the old park?
Pretty standard old park, right? I mean, that's a
The
real
kids
basic.
love that thing.
It's interesting too, it's one of the most expensive options.
Yeah, visually, option 1 looks so appealing.
Option 1 looks very cool.
It looks super cool, but there's no shade whatsoever. So you have these fans, these sails, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I keep going back to option 3.
Can the sails get bigger in option 1? Or is it, that's a standard size for the poles that are on that play
Yeah, no,
structure?
that's actually, that comes out of our smart play line. Our thought process through the 4 different designs was to like, hey, give a little theming, do some with a lot of shade, do some with a little shade, big footprint, smaller footprint. But no, out of our smart play line, these are structures that are not modifiable, so we can basically change the colors of them.
Okay.
But we could absolutely design something that's similar to it with a shade over the top of it.
The 2A option, I like that swing, that circular swing that they have here. Because children of all abilities can use that.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like
That one's actually, the design of it is actually for kids with autism.
Yes.
Just because rocking is so desensitizing to them. You know, those kids can get very overstimulated on the playground, and we don't want them to have to leave. So if we can create like these little cozy spots for them, desensitize themselves, then it just keeps everybody at the playground.
I like it.
Which one's is that?
And
This
that one, you know, the footprint's not nearly as big, there's not as much play, but we wanted to put one in that had a lot of shade on it also, if that was something you guys were.
That one seems like it's geared towards a much younger crowd in general. Is that, am I?
It would still be considered a 5 to 12 playground. It only goes up, I think on this one, we went up to a 60-inch deck on the deck height. So we were trying to keep it somewhat lower. And then what we did with this one was designing a lot of wheelchair accessible pieces to it.
Okay.
So that we're, again, that we're opening the playground up to everybody.
I like it. Okay.
And you can kind of tell if you look at that bottom right picture there on the right, there's all those panels that are on the end of the structure are called reach panels. The way they're designed is that a kid in a wheelchair can roll themselves up underneath it and actually play with it.
I love that.
And then we did like a little sensory garden. There's some chimes there, there's some bells there.
On which one?
On 2A.
Say,
And kind of the way we laid all of these out too is
Shade, cost effective.
90 feet of sidewalk that kind of butts into the back of bathroom was our thought process, was to come off that existing sidewalk, take it to that big clearing. And then at that point, you know, if you guys wanted to tie all the little picnic areas to it, you'd be able to tie the picnic area to it. And again, with benches are super easy to add, and they don't cost very much at all.
Well, I'm looking at funds and looking at 2A, and then looking ahead to the next discussion on the disc golf. If we did 2A, then we'd still have money left over
Yeah.
for the disc golf. But if we did the option two, we wouldn't.
Option 2 is kind of a side breaker.
Yeah, I don't really like option 2.
You know, our thought behind option 2 was to kind of mimic some of it to the dog park playground, since they're kind of close to each other, to put those same tops on them. And it's a much larger footprint, so a lot more running room on it. And plus, we wanted to get a good bank of swings in at least one of the designs, so.
It is cute with the bridge.
I just feel like if we were to put a play structure near the switch yard, our footprint would be smaller than what I think option 2 is presenting. Because we have a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, I mean, our thought process on it was that space in between, I think there's 3 different picnic areas. So we made everything fit right in between all those. So each one of these designs fit that space in between the picnic areas. Some of them are larger, some of them are smaller, but that space that's there is where we designed all these to sit.
One of the first slides has an aerial.
Yeah.
So you
Okay,
can
I was gonna
see
say,
the
where
space that he's
exactly-
So it
is
would
that?
be just to the, I think it's the west of the bathroom. Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Yep.
So there's this and this, and then there's the restroom right
Okay, and this is where we park the restroom trailer. Okay, so right behind.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
How many people can, or kids, I should say, can the 2A swing experience?
Well, I will say this, I've seen as many as 4 different kids on it, but I've also seen as many as 5 adults on it. And the reason I say that is I'm a little bit of a playground nerd, and so anytime me and my wife go out for like a date night, we tend to go to a playground too. So we met up with a bunch of friends at a park up in McKinney, and we were trying to see how many people we could get on the oodle swing, and it was about 5 grown adults, so.
Okay.
No, safely, maybe not, but on it, absolutely. But kids-wise, I mean, it can be 1, it could be up to 5. I mean, it really just, the comfortability of the kids that are on it. Teenagers like to take a little bit more risk. We usually see, 2 standing on one end and somebody sitting in the middle. But it's made to take wear and tear and last, so.
What's the warranty on that?
Warranty on the swing, the metal frame would come with a 100-year warranty. Anything that has movable parts comes with a 5-year warranty. So your clevises, your chains, the rotomolded plastic seat comes with a 12-year warranty. And it really just depends on what you're looking at, parts and pieces of each piece of equipment. Anything that moves, anything that tends to move a lot usually has a 3 to 5-year warranty on it.
Okay. So, okay.
And I will say this, if you guys decide to use one of our playgrounds there, if 30 years from now you're like, hey, the chain on it broke, we're not the type of company to say, hey, you gotta buy something different. Like, we keep our warranty inventory forever, so. And I will say this, I was just down on the playground this morning in Arlington where we had a playground that was installed in 1994 that's still sitting there, still has all its original parts on it. And
At Randall Mill,
no, but we do, Randall Mill is one of our parks.
that's where, it's
The-
right there
so
by
the
the
Oodle-
Miracle League Park.
Oh,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
My daughter would go and play, and yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty much the one thing that she liked to do.
Awesome. Yeah, we're actually one of the corporate sponsors with Miracle League. We do all the Miracle League stuff for them, so, yeah, we appreciate it. But yeah, that answers your question though, right? Perfect, okay.
doesn't have anything to do with this, but my daughter is going to the Ranger Dream Camp on Saturday
Awesome.
at the
Yeah.
stadium. So.
We're putting in a, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, she gets to play with the players. The players teach them how to hit and throw and
That's
catch.
awesome. Yeah, we're actually, Whirlix, the 2026 Miracle League All-Star Games happen in Frisco, and we're one of the sponsors of it. We're actually in the process of putting a new playground over there for them.
So I love it.
If I have to toot my own horn. But again, if you guys are looking for a train design, I mean, we can do a train design. I mean, anything that you can imagine, we can do, so. Even up to a 30-foot tall teddy bear.
So how would you incorporate that into
The
like
tr-
2A?
Oh, how to incorporate it into 2A?
How would you
I would probably look at the same thing, changing some of the panels up. Maybe what we could do is put some custom posts on it to where we have a smokestack coming off the top of one of them and kind of mimic the structure into a train. Or we could take a look at just going on a full-on train design. We do a lot of 2 to 5 structures that are like engine to caboose with about 6 different cars that go with it. I mean, we can do a train structure. It's really, honestly, the sky's the limit. We have the largest custom design team in the industry. I mean, most of the major parks that you see around Dallas-Fort Worth, we had our hands in somehow, so
Can we see some ideas?
absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to see
Absolutely.
I
some
love it.
train
I love
stuff.
it.
Absolutely. And, you know, if you guys ever want to take a little play tour, we can hop in a car one day, go look at some playgrounds around town and slide down some
Have a
slides
field
and
trip?
Swing some swings, oh yeah.
Fun.
We'll even let Laura come
I'm
along.
kind of past the park. You know, my kids are older now.
Man, I'm 50 and I have a 3 slide a week quota. I'm going down at least 3 a week, every single week. I went down to one that was 31 years old this morning.
Wow. Have you ever been to the one up in Bowie?
Bowie, I have
It is
not.
old. It's like, I don't know, it's from probably the 60s or
Yeah.
70s.
So all metal.
And they still have it up. It's
Yeah.
still workable, it's still usable.
Yeah,
And it was pretty awesome when we found that.
yes. Yes, those are always fun, to find those little hidden gems.
Where's everyone's head at? What are we thinking?
I like 2A. Yeah, I like 2A.
2A.
And I will say this too, if you're looking at doing the rubberized surfacing on it for a minimum upcharge, you know, we can even pull that train theme into the rubber and put some railroad tracks going through it, or, you know, like some railroad crossing
That's very
signs. I mean, there's a
cool.
lot of different things that we could do.
Does that cost more to do that?
To do the designs cost a little bit more, because when you're doing rubber surfacing, you can't pour 2 colors on the same day. So what we would come in is we'd basically come in and do the base layer, which whatever color we pick for the base layer, and then we would draw the design out, have the city come out and approve it, and then cut the design out and put the different color rubber in. So, I mean, it's gonna add a couple of days of labor to it, but I mean, we're not talking tens of thousands of dollars more, so.
Let's just see how much that
Yeah,
costs.
absolutely.
I like the number of swings that 3 offers. I think swings are a very popular item, and that's kind of where I was asking about how many the 1 and 2A could accommodate, because,
Yeah.
you know, you're really taking up it's just one structure
Yeah.
versus having 4 or 5 bays, did I notice? on-
Yeah. Swings are, we can absolutely, if you guys want to see swings added to it, we can absolutely do that. One of the things I always point out about swings is cost per play value. Even if we do 3 bays of swings, you're talking 2 toddler seats, 2 belt seats, and like a couple of molded bucket. There's 6 kids that can play. But when you look at the footprint it's going to take up, if we do a 3-bay swing, 4-bay swing, each bay is 12 foot wide. We got to have at least 6 feet each way at the end of it, and then to and fro, we're looking at a minimum 32 feet overall. So I mean, the biggest cost to a set of swings is going to come on your surfacing. Just with the understanding that we can put swings on it, if we put rubber underneath it, I mean, you're talking, the rubber cost is going to go up by tens of thousands of dollars to put swings in.
That's why this one is $288 versus the $240.
Yes. Yeah, and it's basically footprint with surfacing. Yeah. And a lot of times people don't see, but when you look at, you know, we're gonna spend an extra $100,000 for 6 kids to be able to play at once, then you just gotta weigh that efficiency compared to the dollars to it, so. But that's why you guys are sitting there.
Are we needing to approve this in order to get any new renderings, or can we hold off on approving it until we see new renderings?
So we wouldn't be able to take an action today because it's not in the agenda.
Okay,
So you
perfect.
would just be providing a recommendation and
Yeah.
some sort of direction for them.
And I would personally, and for the company, if you guys are gonna have us change the design that much and start pulling in a train theme and that kind of stuff, I would ask that you guys let us design that out. Even if it's just minimal changes and we're putting some things on there, just so y'all can see an accurate cost of what it's gonna be.
Okay. I'd like to see some renderings of trains implemented into the playground.
Okay. When's y'all's
What do you
next
guys
meeting?
It is
In October.
September
September 15th, I think it is?
Okay.
Yeah, 15th.
I don't think, I'll double check. I might be in NRPA's in Orlando this year, so I might be at the National Parks and Recreation Parks Association Conference. I'll double check
Okay.
though. But that's no problem. Laura's more than capable of coming in here and talking to you guys.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd like to see train options. Is there anything anybody would like to see added or taken out from, are we using option, where is it, 2A as our kind of base model that we're gonna start kind of editing?
That's my favorite,
I like that one too.
because kids of all abilities can use that one
Yeah.
versus like 3, no, they can't. Only the normals can use that one.
And I will say this too, concerning the swings. If we get to the next phase and the swings just puts it too much over budget, I mean, what we can do is we also do and this is one of the things I always try to do, is a toddler T-frame that's like 2 toddler buckets on it. Not just only for the kids to swing, but if like mom's gotta go chase the 6-year-old, she's got like somewhere stationary to put the kid, the little one, as she goes and chases the 6-year-old. And those take up a very small footprint. If we're just wanting to create some more play value onto the playground, then we could really easily add that to it, and then it's not gonna create a bunch of extra surfacing. that
You
goes
said it
in
was
there.
just like a bucket swing?
Yeah, it's basically, it's a single post, it's got a T-bar on it, and then it's gonna have 2 toddler
Oh.
buckets coming off.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And that's what I was saying, is like mom can stick the baby in the toddler bucket and go chase after the other kids, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see a rendering too with perhaps some swings
Okay.
to see where we land price point wise.
Okay. And I can do it 2 different ways. We can go full-on swings, do a full set of swings in it. Y'all can see what the cost is of that. And then, you know, we could do one just adding the toddler bay to it. And then we also have, it would run it into the custom realm, but that arched frame for the oodle swing, we could do a double arch, and then that second arch have 2 belt swings come off of it also, if you want to keep that same look. Or I can just show you a bunch of different options.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to see what it would be if we put in a ADA swing like the one in option 1.
Oh, 100% agreed.
I think that would be nice if we did go the swing route.
Okay, to put one of the molded buckets in? Okay. Yeah, that's no
Great idea.
problem at all. I mean, we're not worried about being CPSC on this one. Is it just ASTM? Okay, so there's a couple of different regulations we have to abide by. ASTM is like the big, it covers everything. CPSC will sometimes say that we can't have 2 different age group or types of swings
Okay.
in a bay. We don't run into very much CPSC stuff here in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's more like Austin, to be honest with you, is where we run into it mostly. So as long as we don't have to meet a CPSC certification on it, then we could do a molded bucket. And that's kind of what you're seeing there in option 1 is an ASTM certification or regulation on it, not the CPSC. So you have that molded bucket next to the toddler,
Okay.
which are the same age group. They're just different types of swings. Like we can have 2 different age groups or 2 different types of swings as long as they're the same age group under ASTM.
age group.
Under
okay.
CPSC, they would have to be two of the same types of swings. So there would need to be two bucket seats or two belt seats or two molded buckets sitting next to it.
Okay.
I just like to point it out because if we got to the end and they're like, whoa, this doesn't meet so-and-so, then I know that it's on the record that we've talked.
Okay.
You know those, spiral things that comes up and you hang on to it and go a certain way, it goes zoom, like that. Have you seen it? At Dove Park in Grapevine?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, have you been to that one? I think it's called Dove Park.
It's Dove Park, yeah. I've been by it a few times.
So they have a couple of them.
Yeah. And what does it do?
They have a zip
So you
line.
get
Oh, a
on-
zip
It's like a
line.
gyro
Yeah,
spin.
they
well.
well,
No,
no,
it's a
she's talking about the
gyro
one that
spinner.
you actually
do
get
have
in and you can spin it.
Oh,
They have-
yeah, yeah.
Now, the
We
zip
have-
zip
well,
line hasn't worked in years.
We have
but-
something similar to, does anybody remember, if you remember like the sit and spin when we were kids? Like you could sit there and spin on it. We actually have one that's made for like 3 kids to sit on. It's called a Revy Wheel, but it's basically, it's one of the only spinners that we sell that does not have a regulator on it to regulate speed. So it makes it really fun. There's not too many things in the industry nowadays that doesn't regulate speed and that just happens to be one of them.
That's awesome.
But it's also the size, I mean, it's 6 foot in diameter, 3 kids can, I mean, we've seen a lot more than 3 kids on it. It's made for 3 kids to be on it, but. And then you grab the middle wheel and just.
Just
see how
go.
fast you can go.
Is there anything else anyone would like to see incorporated or taking out of option 2A for the next opportunity to meet in the renderings?
Just if you have like, if it fits, those little, like individual type of play things.
Like a
I was
spring
talking
rider?
about. Like just any, like whatever idea you come up with, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That you can put like where it kind of sits out further so that, you know, when it gets overwhelming, I know some kids like to
Yeah.
kind of go off.
We'll need to double check the footprint of it. Again, you know, you guys probably already know, but everything, like the play structure has this invisible 6-foot bubble around it. So as long as we're outside of that, then we should be fine. Yeah. I mean, that's something as simple as like a saddle spinner. You know, look, my favorite, out of all the playground equipment that we sell, my favorite piece of playground equipment is what we call a double bobble rider. So it's a spring rider, but it basically works kind of like a seesaw. You get 2 of your friends on it. So anything that could be like a social piece, I like to put on playgrounds.
They had those up at the old park up north, up north of Willow Creek North Park. And they had like maybe 3 of them, and they had that seesaw one. And those things kept on breaking because the teenagers would just get on them and just bend. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Oh,
wasn't
you
our
remember
equipment.
Yeah, they were breaking a lot, so, yeah, that's the only thing is how sturdy is it sturdier now
Oh,
than it
yeah,
was
I mean,
back
we.
then? Because, you know,
Yes, I mean,
they take
anything that
teenagers.
I will tell you this, the first line of our warranty is you have our word. Like I'm telling you, that thing can take some wear and tear. And if for some reason it was to break, then we could get it replaced within a week for you.
Okay. All right, so I think that wraps up discussion of 2D. Is there any, we don't need to do anything, right? We can just move on to the next. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate
and
you coming out.
Absolutely, and I apologize for being a little late. I came
Oh,
in
you're
from
fine.
Plano and it was.
Oh,
a mess.
traffic,
It
yeah.
was a mess getting down here, so I appreciate it.
No, thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, and then we are moving on to item 2E, discussion regarding the improvement of the disc golf course at Willow Creek Park. Jared Kersey.
Chairman and Board. Yes, tonight we're just going to have a discussion in regards to a brand-new 18-hole disc golf course. A little bit of, as to why this was brought up. We've had several inquiries over the past few years about our disc golf course that's currently there. It's on the north end of the park. It's only a 9-hole course currently. And that was actually some of the feedback we've received for some of these inquiries of it's only a 9-hole course. They said more people would definitely be more willing to play with an 18-hole course. We had a gentleman contact Public Works Director Randy Newsom, who is I guess, president over an organization of disc golf
Okay.
club, and mentioned that, if you were able to provide an 18-hole course, probably host tournaments and leagues and things of that nature.
An
So-
18-hole?
18.
Yeah, yes. And so if you look at your designs that were handed out, it does encompass the north end of Willow Creek Park, north of the softball field, where the original course is now. Be 9 new holes there, and then it would go over to the south end of the park, south of McElroy, for the other 9 holes. So it would be laid out over almost 3/4 of the park there, and it'd be a really nice course layout there.
Do you get a lot of questions about it or requests for it from the community?
Yes, we get several phone calls about it, yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
How do you predict this course is going to affect the rest of the park?
As in traffic? or
Usability,
Just usability? I mean, obviously, if they were to have a tournament, that would probably bring out a pretty big crowd.
Yeah.
I could see that maybe being crowded in aspects, but in the years past of the people that I've seen play, and I've seen groups of, anywhere from 10 to 20 people play at a time, I wouldn't say it's that huge of an impact.
It's not a big-
really not. The park, I don't know the exact footage, it's pretty wide through there. So a lot of open space, a lot of, they actually play in areas that most people that visit the park don't even travel to. In other words, it's more along the creek, things like that.
Okay.
So if you put it on these, down the south end, does that mean we won't be able to use any of this land for anything else in the future?
Not at all, not at all. I mean, the only thing that you're really building is a concrete pad, probably like a 4x4 concrete pad, and then where have you seen the ones in Willow Creek currently? It's like a cage.
The basket.
Yeah, the basket cage.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take up a lot of space at all.
But
So-
like,
so
I was
you
just
wouldn't be
thinking
at-
like in the, like, let's say you wanted to put, I don't know, let's just say a pavilion or whatever, because they're gonna be putting a pond in or whatever, but it's gonna interfere with, 15 to 16, I mean, is that gonna be, that's what I mean, like for future plans, if they do more there, is there gonna be like, no, we can't because it'll if somebody's playing, it'll,
I think if that occasion arose, I think that the baskets would be very easy to move to a different location if we had to, things like that. I think you could accommodate around very easily
Okay.
if something like that was to arise where we wanted to build something else.
all right.
The trees that are proposed, are they part of the play? Are they making it more difficult? Is that part of the course, or is it something that we're just adding in?
Yeah, I would like to introduce John with Kimley.
hello.
He actually designed this.
Okay, hi, John.
Evening, Chairman, members of the board. John Fielder, also landscape architect at Kimley Horn. And yes, the trees were added multi-purpose, so to add shade for the park, but it also does create some obstacles on some of the holes.
Okay.
And so it does increase the difficulty for some of those holes. Some of those par 4, it gives an additional obstacle to try and get around for the users.
That was gonna be one of my questions. From 3 to 4, we have a playground right there. Do we think that amount of trees would be sufficient enough to hinder a disc from going into the playground? I mean, I don't play, so I don't know how fast it goes, if it loses velocity the further it goes, and it won't harm a child, or? Oh, okay, so it's like Frisbee, okay. So that wouldn't be too bad.
And we were cognizant about the spacing. We walked the site with staff, and currently there were a couple of holes that would throw across the trail or closer to the playground or pavilion picnic area. So we really tried to space those out to give more of a buffer between the uses there.
Okay. I had a question about, where is it at? The cost of the individual signs for the T signs. It says 1,500 each. What makes the sign worth $1,500. That's hard for me to wrap my head around,
Right,
$1,500
so that, I
for a
mean,
T
that's,
sign.
this is, there's no design right now for that. This is all based on our site visit, layout of a conceptual design. The assumption we made there was that it'd be something robust, so a steel post sign with some kind of graphic image on there that could handle kind of use and abuse within a park site and be open. So those, just cost of steel, those more robust materials just cost more money.
What size are those typically?
Typically, so, I mean, we can make them as large or as small as you want, but I would say somewhere around 3 or 4 foot height, 18 inches, 2 foot wide, something like that, to give enough of a graphic on there would be
So
good.
they'd be, each individual one per hole, so that would be 18. Each sign would be 3 feet tall?
It could be. That would be, because you want people to be able to see it so they can see where they're throwing to, and it marks the starting point for the hole.
Because I did some research and I looked in Azel and I think it was the Colony, they have disc golf as well, and their signs are on a metal post. They're probably about this big. They show the name of the course, what hole you're on, the ideal throw, if you will, course of the Frisbee. And they have it on, like I said, a metal post with screws in the top.
This
So
is a single post, yeah.
could we do something cheaper? Because it's just hard for me to wrap my
Certainly,
head around spending $27,000 for signage.
Correct, yes, that's understandable. And if we got into doing an actual design, we would be able to nail that down and, reduce, especially on the signage. I think there's some flexibility on how much we do there, so we could reduce that cost,
The
yes.
sign
Okay.
costs more than the basket.
I
Yeah.
know, that's
Right, yeah.
mind-boggling.
Okay, so there's room to bring that number down per sign.
Yes.
Okay.
If I may, that's also going to have to be really thick gauge steel, because whenever a disc could possibly, or vandalism type thing occur to it, you want it to be able to withstand that. So hopefully we're talking pretty thick, almost not like a sign for a stop sign, but something that's even thicker.
Yes, for the sign, and a lot of time, there's a manufacturer that makes a thick composite that makes really clean, attractive graphics. And so that can even be, I mean, that's usually half an inch to an inch thick, and then something of the steel sign, you could go, thicker gauge, so something
Thicker, so it,
1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch.
thicker than a stop sign would, do you throw the disc, is that part of the game, that the disc goes off of a
No,
sign or
no,
anything
no,
like that? I'm just trying
it's
to.
just a graphic representation of the course, so people can see
Okay.
where it is. Yeah.
All right. So you're saying 51 large canopy trees, which is great. And then the drip irrigation for those trees would be 15,000 to put in.
Yes,
Now,
that'd be if there is a permanent irrigation system to be installed for, that they could connect to for those trees. Because ideally, you've got tree bubblers that could serve them with water, getting them established. If not, we could do temporary irrigation, tree bags or something like that that can get refilled.
What type of trees would we be putting in? Because I would just want to make sure that they're trees that will be able to sustain our climate with the heat,
Sure.
and they're native to Texas and all of that good stuff. Do we have any kind of idea what type of tree you're envisioning and putting in?
We didn't list specific species, but our general practice is Texas natives and,
Okay.
live oaks, elms, anything oak and elm. If it's near water, it makes sense to have a bald cypress. You can do that as well, but I mean, I like oaks and elms in parks. I think they give great shade and they're long-lived.
Okay.
Are they planning on replacing those trees that were near the ballpark, that were kind of by the park? Because the park used to be covered by that old big one, parking lot, and I know that came down.
Are you
a while
referring
ago.
by the softball field? I would have to go look and see. I know they've planted several along those there. just recently. I don't know if you've seen all the oak trees they've planted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've planted several through there.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know if we have the results from the tree canopy survey that was done for the city? Because if we're putting in this many trees, I'd like to know what the results of the survey were beforehand.
I have not received that personally. I will get with the staff in case somebody has, but I will find that out.
Okay, thank you so much. Does anybody know what all would entail having a tournament? Are we going to be in charge of, as the host, providing people to, I don't know, keep count? I don't know how the scoring works. Do we need to provide staff, or is it whoever rents the facility, they're in charge of providing the people to help?
That's the typical process.
Okay,
The second one, I think.
okay.
Kind of like the ballpark.
So, and also, you know, that was just brought up just as discussion. We haven't like gone into details of what all that would entail. That was just the interest that's been shown if we had an 18-hole course. Yes.
So would we charge a rental for or some kind of a usage fee for a tournament?
I would think so, right?
I would think so for a big event. You know, obviously, we wouldn't for people just, you know, it's just a service. But I think an event that would be definitely worth something we would need to look at.
Wouldn't that be a permitted event? Wouldn't they do a permit on that, doing a permitted event? Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I can't speak too much on it because, like I said, we didn't talk into details of what a tournament would consist of. It was just.
And it says this course would be white within the regulations for the PDGA requirements, so we would be eligible to host those types of tournaments?
Ideally, yes, it would be designed in an effort to get to that level, so that intermediate amateur course level.
Okay,
So anybody who was interested in doing hosting an event at that level could seek out the course.
perfect. I'd like to know if we can look into this and see what the typical procedure is to rent out to someone to host a tournament. What cost, how much they're paying us to use it. And so if they're paying us to use it, we are not responsible for the reward of first, second, and third place. It's all on whoever is renting the disc golf to hold their tournament. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm clear, because this is a whole new world to me. I don't understand. Okay, perfect. We don't have to do any of that. So then our generative income would just come from the fee to rent the course. Right? Okay.
Probably like just to keep it reserved, so that
the
way when
spot.
they come, there's not other people playing on it.
And it may be that that fee goes to the rec department and it wouldn't come into the Parks Board, into our donation fund.
It
Okay.
would go to the Recs department?
Yes. They are the ones that oversee any rentals, any amenity rentals in our parks.
And we're sure this would be a rental situation. This is not just a public use, like.
Oh, it would be public use.
I think first and foremost, this
Yeah.
would be for our citizens, public use.
Right.
It's just a service to provide for the city. That would be the first and foremost.
Definitely.
But meets the standards and qualifications for these other types of events, be it intermediate or amateur level. It would at least meet those expectations, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so should somebody have that interest, they could do that.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, interesting.
Chairman and Board, also, I'm going to research, a question was brought up to me. I'm going to research and hopefully have at another discussion of how many actual disc golf courses there are in the area.
Okay.
So we'll research that as a staff and see.
I know Azle has one, Springtown has one, And then, that was as far as my research got. So I know those two for sure.
Where are the closest 18-hole disc golf courses? Yeah,
Okay.
that's curious. Just curious to know.
Doesn't the community college have one? On Marine Creek,
I'm not sure they.
TDDC?
Okay.
Walking on it, I've seen them playing it. I walked the trail,
The trails back there?
and they have, I don't know how many,
But you've seen it back
but I've seen them playing it over there.
Okay. Okay. I know there has been people wanting this, so I know the need is there. I just want to make sure that it's cost effective. Like I said earlier, for me, the biggest thing is $27,000 in signage. So if we can work that out later along the road, I would be happy. But I'm good to look into this to see what our options would be, how much need, if we can rent it out, all of that stuff, to see if it would be worth it.
It doesn't appear to be any more super close to us either.
I can
Okay.
confirm there is that one at Tarrant County College.
Okay.
There is one there, an 18-hole one.
Oh,
18.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Links on the Lake.
Okay. Is there any other information you guys would like to learn or find out?
I guess when we're talking about the rental,
Mm-hmm.
what would be a common price point
Fee for it?
fee for that, for the tournament organizers, so that we can kind of look to see if there's a decent ROI on it?
Exactly, okay. And I did see, I think it was the Colony that required the renter to provide insurance up to, I think it was almost $1 million insured, something like that. So is the insurance in case anyone is injured or hurt? Is that what the insurance typically covers for this?
Are you referring to a tournament?
For a tournament,
hosting?
yes.
I would assume so.
Okay.
I would assume that's a typical requirement, is some kind of insurance coverage, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I host a lot of events for large groups. We have to carry our own insurance for whatever we do, no matter if it's a hotel.
So it's
no matter
something they would
what the
already
venue-
have?
Yeah, it's something
Okay.
that we would be liable for. So.
Okay.
So for that one over at TCC, did you just like Google that? Or
I-
do you know?
I did. I Googled it, and then I looked and saw the picture of the sign for it, and it confirmed that it had 18 holes on it and all.
I'm
And
just
like the-
curious, like, what's the usage of that? I'm just curious, like, do they get a lot of business, or?
There's a whole site called UDisc, apparently.
UDisc.
This is a thing. This is a thing. I looked up every 18-hole golf course or disc golf course within our area, and it pulls up quite a few, actually.
Okay.
But it can give you some good references there.
I'll look that up.
And this really does look to be a part, well, actually, it says Tarrant County College Department of Kinesiology.
Oh,
So it's kind of like a part of their offerings.
okay.
Yeah, it looks like.
Okay.
I mean,
Is-
these are rated, I mean, they have everything from ratings to hard to rankings to, I mean, so it's something that they could obviously, people have a serious interest in. It's a lot of effort for, it's just very interesting.
If we build it, they will come.
Maybe?
I mean, that's crazy.
Okay, anyone have any other questions? No? And then there's nothing we need to officially, okay. All right, well, thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming out.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, and then that puts us at 3A Expenditure Fund Report. Maria Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am. So this is the expenditure report for the month of July. We received $7,719 with 55 cents in donations. We also saw the second payment for the Independence Day fireworks come through, and we have 2 Independence Day sponsorship that came from P-card purchases from staff. And all of that totaled to $17,342 that came out of our park donation fund. We also have a pending expenditure for the purchases that I made for the recognition that we had of Thomas Weaver. And we have an estimated available fund as of August 1st of $124,693 for our park donation fund.
Okay.
Do y'all have any questions?
And this amount is without the 69,000 for the 3-year drone contract?
Correct, correct. That will be at tomorrow's city council meeting, so
Perfect.
that has not been approved yet.
Okay.
So these expenditures, we're sponsoring somebody for Independence Day, or what are those?
Yes, so staff came and presented to the board in the month of May, I believe, and they asked for sponsorship for the Independence Day event.
Got it, okay.
And that's what you're seeing there. It's just those purchases.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions regarding the donation fund? All right, so let's move on to item 3B, future agenda items.
That would be the Willow Creek Park playset, the switchyard.
Yeah, follow up on the playgrounds, on the disc golf.
Is there anything else that the board would like to see at the next meeting?
Oh, did we get a quote for the, what is it called? The extension driveway in the switch yard between the pavilions and the new parking lot that just went in? Because I know you were saying you needed to talk to Tarrant County, I think it was?
Yes, we're still waiting on a response on that.
Okay.
Yep.
And then,
Chairman and board, I would also like to add an item to a future agenda. It's been requested, at the switch yard where the food trucks, there's currently 4 pedestals that they hook up to, electrical pedestals. It's been requested by staff to possibly look into adding an additional 4 in that parking lot, just due to the amount of food trucks now that we require at our
Yeah.
events. It's
there's a lot that come out.
there's a lot.
Are they planning on, like redoing how they put them in? Because I noticed like when you go, and some are like back in here and some are up forward, and so if you added another, I'm just curious, like where would they add the other 4? Like,
I think that they would add an adjacent line on the opposite side, where it's lined up now, but they'll be in line parallel with them, but on the other
so
side of
you'd
the
have the
parking lot.
premium front spots and then,
Charge
I'll
extra for
let you
those.
run that.
I was just curious because I went to one and they were in like a horseshoe shape. So it was kind of nice. They had picnic tables here and then they all were sitting up.
I think that's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
That would flow easier. I see what
I
you're
like
saying.
that.
It's a
So they
great
can drive
suggestion to
in
look
and then
into.
drive right on out.
Right, rather than everybody go to the first line, and then, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then at the next meeting, we'll have estimates for that? Can we have estimates for that?
Yes, we'll actively work on that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think, does anyone have anything else for future agenda items? No? Okay, and then item 3C, discussion regarding the board's recommendation to install misting fans at the switch yard.
Yes, Chairman and Board. After that recommendation, I spoke with Public Works Director Randy Newsom. Him and I had a really good conversation about that. We both had some concerns if it dealt with water. just possibly open the door of, somebody may say, oh, my products have gotten wet due to
Goods
this,
getting
things like
damaged.
that. Leaks
Okay.
occur when you're trying to provide water, of those things. But an idea that we would like to open up discussion for, that we were thinking, and please excuse me for the verbiage, but this is what they're actually called. They're called big-ass fans.
Oh, I've seen those here.
They go
Huge.
on the roof of the Switchyard pavilions.
Yeah.
Big industrial fans. We would, with y'all's approval, like to look into quotes for that, if that's something you have interest in. Would definitely create some airflow underneath those pavilions.
Would we then run into the problem of things getting blown around? The same
No,
kind
I don't.
different elements,
I
same kind of
don't-
problem?
I don't think so. I mean, I have one on my back patio.
Okay.
In my outdoor kitchen. It just
It's not like a
provides good air. Yeah, it's not
Okay.
a direct, it just provides a good airflow around, so.
Those actual fans, my neighbor has,
Mm,
and it's about 72 inches tall. And
huge.
it moves not that fast, but it just always has a nice breeze on it. I think they're great.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get more information on those. Has the city ever thought about purchasing a cooling tent? Now, it's not enclosed, it's on the 4 posts, and it does the misting, and that would kind of fall into the same purview where we have the restroom trailer, and we can put that wherever we want to put it, because I know Training Green gets really hot. It would be nice to have a cooling tent there for community events, and we would be able to, move it wherever we needed to. Is that something that y'all have ever looked into before?
I don't think we've really discussed that, honestly.
Okay.
If it has, I wasn't involved in that, but that's definitely something we can look into.
That'd be perfect, to get a little bit more information, size-wise, what all it would do, cost, and where we could possibly store it, if we have a place to store it, if we were to purchase one, and maybe it would be.
Building.
Oh, perfect. Maybe it would be something where the cost wouldn't fall all on the Parks Board. Maybe it's something split that we can do across other boards or with the city, because I know we've run into instances with people overheating at events at Training Green, 4th of July, things like that. So I think it would still be beneficial to look into.
Okay. We can definitely do that.
Okay, thank you. Anything else on the fans for the Switchyard? Any other suggestions, ideas? No? All right. Well, then, if anyone has no other questions, I will open the floor for adjournment. A motion to adjourn?
Move that we adjourn.
Perfect. Is there a second? All right, and let's vote.
Well, thank you. Wonderful job.
Thanks, everybody. It was a good meeting. Lots of good info. All right. We passed to adjourn.
Courtesy of the city.
Thank you all for showing up today. I really appreciate it.
Right?